Finance Secretary describes 2025 national budget as empty and lengthy. Tourism Secretary calls for a re-evaluation of Trinidad's view on Tobago's tourism sector. Opposition leader calls national budget a masterpiece of misery, and there's a call for change within NUGFW. Good evening, I am Bianna Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Tuesday, 1st October 2024. To our top story. Empty, lengthy and oppressive towards the people of Tobago is how Finance Secretary Petal Ann Roberts described Monday's budget presentation. Finance Minister Colm Imbert delivered a $59.7 billion budget in Parliament for fiscal 2025, which lasted 5 hours and 15 minutes. Speaking at a press conference last night, Roberts expressed disappointment with the allocation given to Tobago. More in this report from Candice Jackson.
Following Finance Minister Colm Imbert's 5-hour-plus national budget presentation, THA Secretary of Finance Petal Ann Roberts expressed disappointment.
It was a slap in the face to Tobago. It was empty and lengthy, very oppressive, regressive, and a hopeless presentation for Tobago, particularly.
Out of the $59.7 billion budget, Tobago was allocated $2.599 billion, which is $1.2 billion less than what the THA requested in June.
I think the intent was to inflict hardships on the Tobago economy and to stymie the growth of the economy, and is a clear campaign against Tobago's development and Tobago's development potential.
Of the $2.599 billion allocated, $2.376 billion was designated for recurrent expenditure, while $205 million was allocated for developmental spending.
Tobago, $205 million cannot sustain you. $205 million cannot build Tobago's economy.
Finance Minister Colm Imbert stated in the Hansard that the overall allocation for fiscal 2025 is higher than the THA received in previous years. However, Finance Secretary Roberts refuted that claim.
As a matter of fact, I think what the minister did is try to play smart with foolishness and excluded the $50 million that he gave under recurrent expenditure for the oil spill. And therefore, we have received $27 million less than last fiscal, which ends tonight.
Additionally, she stated that the THA was shorted $27 million in their last release from the central government for fiscal 2024. The Ministry of Finance was notified, and during the budget presentation, Minister Imbert assured that the THA would receive the balance.
The government has sent a paper release of $17 million, and that means that the government has $10 million and we need to get it before midnight.
The THA intends to take legal action against central government for the money owed, along with outstanding grants and payouts from international agencies. They are also demanding that the government release funds to the THA in a lump sum every 3 months as required by law. In the meantime, THA's budget will need to be reprioritized, focusing on tourism, housing, and digitization. Candice Jackson.
The private sector expressed disappointment over the lack of mention of allocations for the THA to address outstanding debts owed to contractors. Curtis Williams, chairman of the Tobago Division of Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, stated that the longer contractors remain unpaid, the harder it is for them to sustain their businesses. He also raised concerns about the government's decision to increase the public sector minimum wage. More from Candice Jackson.
Curtis Williams, chairman of the Tobago Division of the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce, had only one major request for fiscal 2025, that the THA be granted funds to cover its debts.
I was asking the finance minister to send some additional funds to Tobago to treat with some of the debt that the THA incurred. And that's what I was asking. Right? So let's leave the development, leave the recurrent, send this fund directly to treat with debt that the THA the oil spill, and other debts.
Finance Minister Calum Imbert failed to address this in his 5-hour-long budget presentation in Parliament. While the THA was granted $205 million for development expenditures, the debt owed to contractors is more than 3 times this amount.
I know that 205 for development really cannot do nothing much, right? So then we have to get creative now and find other means of getting development done on the island.
However, Williams remains optimistic that the completion of the new A&R Robinson International Airport Terminal will bring positive economic growth, provided the airlift is increased and room stock is improved. He also noted that the government's decision to raise the public sector minimum wage to $22.50 an hour, while leaving the private sector rate unchanged at $20.50 an hour, is putting unnecessary pressure on businesses.
It meant that private sector now, if you want 2050 now, you know, your workers now looking at you cross-eyed, right? Because now you know how to be careful, because they would say, well, look, government paying 2250, probably I will leave from private sector to go by government because government paying more than you.
Williams also noted that raising the minimum wage is not an easy consideration for some businesses. We
have NIS that we had to pay for. You have the increase in insurance. You have the increase in overtime. And there's some other expenses that led to the number not being just 2050 or 2250 going forward.
He noted that many businesses are still adjusting to the government's last minimum wage increase from $17.50 to $20.50 an hour, which took effect in January 2024. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
During the 2025 national budget presentation on Monday, Minister of Finance Calum Imbert revealed that the minimum wage for public service employees would increase from $20.50 to $22.50 per hour. However, Watson Duke, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, argued that this increase does little to improve the financial struggles of citizens. He also calculated that at this new rate, a worker's monthly income would amount to approximately $4,000, a figure Duke describes as insufficient to meet basic needs.
He acted as if he did something beneficial to him. He acted as a father who cares and said, we're going to increase minimum wage from $20.50 to $22.50.
Said a more substantial raise is needed to truly address poverty and improve the quality of life for workers across the country.
Until the minimum wage could guarantee workers a certain amount of hours per day, and thus a certain amount of money per week, and thus a certain amount of money per month, it is a waste of time.
He argued that the government has a strategic plan to eradicate the middle class.
And they're wiping out the middle class by ensuring the middle class progress is slow and determined, while they're bringing those at the bottom at a slow rate also, but to give them the impression you're moving fast.
Duke shared that the ideal increase for minimum wage would be between $28 to $29, which results in $5,000 a month, providing that a worker works for 176 hours within a month. However, he shared that before the increase in wages, the private sector needs to be robust. We'll take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Dream 2024, the Black Onyx. Tobago, are you ready? Introducing for the first time on the Dream stage, the King of Steam himself, Young Breda, alongside DJ Hottie.
Yo, it's all about the 5th of October in Tobago Show Park. It's all about Dream. Shout out to Mighty Crush, Young Breda. DJ Hottie. We're gonna be there live and alive. You're gonna make it steamy. Oh, everybody, brother, come out. Mad enough. You know who does that?
Dream 2024. It's happening Saturday, October 5th at Shore Park Complex, Tobago from 11:30 p.m. to 8 a.m. Get ready to live the dream.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army-Fed Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army-Fed Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army-Fed Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Welcome back. Secretary for Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation Tasha Boris has voiced strong criticism of the government's recent budget, labeling it as anti-Tobago and anti-development. She emphasized the ongoing challenges faced by the THA in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, stating that while many discuss the impact of the virus, they often overlook the subsequent rise in living costs. Here's more from Travisa Phillips.
Councillor Tasha Boris pointed out that the financial allocation for the THA has remained the same post-2020 as it was before the pandemic, which she argued is unrealistic given the changed economic landscape.
You're talking about the same money that was allocated to the THA pre-2020 is being allocated to the THA post-2020, and somehow we are supposed to do the same amount of things that we could have accomplished pre-2020. However, we have been accomplishing things. We have accomplished many things.
The Secretary urged the public not to focus solely on recurrent expenditures, explaining that these costs are essential for the administration's daily operations.
We have to pay salaries. We have to pay rent, we have to buy toilet paper, we have to pay for water, we have to pay for internet. So looking at the recurrent and saying, oh, Tobago got 2.3 billion in recurrent, that is the cost of running the Tobago House of Assembly as an institution.
Furthermore, she questioned the central government's commitments to investing in Tobago's tourism sector.
There is nothing that says to me that this government's policy involves tourism in a big way. When you even look at the breakdown of the budget, Ministry of Tourism is not even mentioned. You talk about money for security, money for health, money for education. Tourism is nowhere in the conversation.
The Secretary noted that tourism is not a significant part of the government's policy, pointing out that the Ministry of Tourism was not even mentioned in the budget breakdown. She called for a re-evaluation of the government's support for Tobago's tourism industry to ensure development is on par with Trinidad. Travisa Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar described Finance Minister Colin Imbert's presentation of the national budget as a masterpiece of misery and a summary of a decade of destruction. She commented immediately after the budget presentation during a press conference. Candice Jackson has the details.
Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar stated that the fiscal 2025 budget presentation is merely a repetition of past promises and an attempt at election campaigning, while Finance Minister Colin Imbert argued that the economy has seen some growth. She claimed he was overlooking other economic issues that paint a different picture.
The economic indicators are in steadfast decline since 2015 because of the resolute incompetence. The minister mentioned no pathways to long-term prosperity, besides waiting for gas production and prices to rebound. 9 years and nothing. now going into the 10th year.
She added that the economic growth mentioned does not indicate that the economy is back to performing at its best.
Minister has not mentioned, when he's talking about the country growing and everything is booming and growth, that this economy is 20% smaller today than it was when we left government in 2015.
In his presentation, Imbert boasted that the country has a healthy heritage and stabilization fund with US $5.4 billion in its reserves. However, Prasad Bisesa argued that he should be ashamed as the fund was valued at over US $10 billion in 2015.
If that not bad enough, we see today from this budget that forex reserves will continue to fall over the near future unless and until major gas production come in online in projected 2027.
Prasad Bisesa claimed that the minister offered no clear direction for economic diversification, instead relying on projected gains of the Dragon Gas deal in 2027 as the economy's savior. Meanwhile, one of the announcements facing criticism was the purchase of new Coast Guard vessels.
They have 30 boats right now doing what? Parked up. What are you going to buy? 4 new patrol boats, 8 high-speed interceptors. What are they going to cost when you have 30 boats sitting down there parked up for repairs and they are not fixing them? They're not repairing them at all.
Prasad Bisesa plans to address these issues and more in detail when she kicks off the budget debate on Friday. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Lydia Peters, the current second Deputy General Secretary of the National Union of Government Federated Workers, announced a call for change in the executive. The NUGFW is preparing for the National Executive Committee election scheduled for 24th of October 2024. Peters stated that the current President General James Lambert must go. Here's more.
During a public demonstration and march held on Monday 30th September, Peters made a call for members within the union to vote for the nominees of the newly formed Workers' Guardian within the NUGFW, stating that Lambert must go.
The time has come for us to change the executive of the National Union, James Lambert. The time has come for us to move James Lambert from the helm.
She further stated that it is time to bring back the union to the members as they currently have no say in the affairs of the union.
Time has come for us to bring back the union to the members. Members have no say. And the time has come where we're going to restore the members back into this organization by having them a say. They must have a say in the running of this organization.
During a telephone call with Lydia Peters, she indicated that the newly formed Workers' Guardian, with the eagle as its symbol, is focused on adequate management and running of the union where members can be represented. The Workers' Guardian has a slate of 15 members, with Comrade Christopher Street running for President General and Lydia Peters vying for second Deputy President General. Peters said the change is for better representation for all members.
And we are making the change for better representation for our members. Yes. We are making the change for democracy. There is no democracy within the organization. We are making the change for good governance.
Yes. The NUGFW represents the daily rated workers, and Peters states that they have not been well represented. She's calling for members to cast their votes for all 15 nominees vying for executive positions in the upcoming elections. Adana Kambi, Tobago Updates Television News.
You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
Are you an architect or draftsman looking to upgrade your skills, or a beginner eager to master essential tools? ReCAD Labs has the solution. Our Revit Architecture Fundamental Tobago course is designed to boost your skills and confidence. Running from October 6th to November 17th, this course includes a live session on November 17th for hands-on learning. Learn from experts in our virtual classroom and stay ahead in the world of architecture. Visit recadlabs.com to enroll now and follow us on social media for updates.
This is how it's gonna go. look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Thanks for staying with us. The 2025 national budget was read in Parliament on Monday by Finance Minister Colin Burt. Watson Dew, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, has criticized the current administration for its expectation of $3.9 billion for the THA, as highlighted in its post-budget response.
My colleague, who is now the Finance Secretary, was off to a bad start. Here you are saying that you expected $3.9 billion from where?
He claimed that in finance, the requested amount of funds is never given until it's proven that the funds can be effectively managed.
You'll always give them less. And they must take that less and do more with it. Yeah? When they have done more with that less, then you can see, well, the next time the budget comes around, I'm going to give you a little more.
Duke said that the current THA administration must account for $7.5 billion before requesting additional funds.
But first, before they could ask for more money, I am calling upon the THA to explain to us where you did with $7.5 billion.
Tobagonians to vote out the current administration.
I regret to say today, they are but children in big people clothing, trying to speak in a big voice, trying to talk like mommy and daddy. Listen to me, I'm tired of them. We must vote these people in the THA completely out.
Autopsy of Tobago's resident Sarah Smith and her children Phoenix and Genuine confirmed that their cause of death was blunt force trauma. Investigators in Tobago are currently examining whether the trauma was due to an accidental fall if it was intentionally inflicted. Until this is determined, their deaths remain unclassified, according to media reports. Smith and her children were found on September 10th inside an unused water tank in Palatavere following reports that they have gone missing several days earlier. Originally from Trinidad, Smith had relocated to Tobago in pursuit of a better life. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supply specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
I don't get that. They follow me money back as long as one on my head. They say too much, one thing will kill you, so what? Everybody had a dead. Don't knock it until you try it. Rum sweet, rum sweet. Run out. Hey, the biggest and sexy.
Now here what's going on. You see this section? It makes me feel to move. You know why? It's called Pina Colada. I like Pina Colada.
Oh. Forget just the girl them pray for. They really need it too. When you play with
oh my goodness, and as the name says, it is as creamy as it's sweet.
Never wanna leave cause the drinks them running for throw. Cause I really feel a vibe every time I start right down and a band like this. Man, it's nothing like this. Not you be like you. Forget just me say something and nobody like you. And every single time we touch, you know I never stop.
This is Pina Colada, something nice with a little bit of spice, and of course, not once, but we're gonna do it twice.
Tell a cruise, make the banner.
We are on the road with Pina Colada. Boom, boom.
Attention soldiers, are you ready for the ultimate mission for Tobago Carnival? It's time to gear up for Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow.
I feel like I'm running tongue again. No place like home.
We're taking the vibes out to the countryside, where a premier cast of live entertainment will be pumping all night long. Army Fed Operation Rocks Glow. Join us on Thursday, 24th October at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex, Roxborough, for the high-energy Wear White Soca Bashment Rocks Glow. Army Fed Tobago. Operation Rocks Glow.
Swap done. Track 7. Tobago, have a plan.
Let me go now. Yes.
Yes.
Let me go.
If you want life in the islands, come through Tobago. Come through Tobago. Escape Tobago. If you want vibes in the islands, come through Tobago. Come through Tobago. Escape Tobago.
Wanted this all of my life. One place with all of my life. Everything that I need is all on the aisle. You can come in, stay more than a while. So go catch your friends, bring something, and pack up your bag, let's go. If you're looking elsewhere, nah, 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 nah. If you're going elsewhere, nah, nah, nah.
Now for the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight generally fair despite a few overnight showers. Temperatures will drop to 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's outlook is showery spells in some areas are particularly during the mid-morning to afternoon will interrupt generally fair but hot conditions. There remains a low chance of the odd heavy showers and thunderstorm. Daytime temperatures will rise to 33 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 37 degrees Celsius. Seas will be slight with waves near 1.3 meters in open waters and smooth in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 5:51 and sunset at 5:52. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines before we go. Finance Secretary describes 2025 national budget as empty and lengthy. Tourism Secretary calls for re-evaluation of Trinidad's view on Tobago's tourism sector. Opposition leader calls national budget a masterpiece of misery, and there's a call for change within the NUGFW. I am Bianna Brebner. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.